Welcome back to my kitchen garden. As you can see, I'm sitting by my marigolds. Now I want to prolong the flowering period, so the best way to do that is just to keep deadheading. You don't want the flowers to die and turn to seed, because once that happens they'll stop producing buds, and that'll be the end of that plant for this year. So I've been deadheading this on a regular basis and it's still covered in loads and loads of new fresh buds. So I'm going to carry on doing that. And then I'm going to take down my runner beans because they are finished. The Gigantes are going to stay. I still have a lot of green pods on there, so I really want them to dry on the vine before I pick them. But I did manage to pick 3 pods this morning, which is really great. I haven't opened them to see what's inside, but I'll do that in a minute. What else? I've weeded my leeks, I've tidied up the herb garden which is behind me, and behind the camera is the rose. That needs tidying up because that's had a bit of a growth spurt as well, and it's getting a little bit top heavy and untidy. And then in the greenhouse I think I'm going to pick all my chillies. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them yet, whether I'm going to dry them, freeze them or hang them up. So I'm going to carry on with this and then get on with the other jobs. I've actually got 4 pods that have dried. These are the Gigantes. So we'll have a look, see what's in these. It's exciting. It's the first time I've ever grown Gigantes. That doesn't look like a Gigante. That looks like a runner bean. How's that happened? Ooh. Let's do this one. I don't understand what's happened. Those are runner beans as well. No. Well, that's strange. Surely not. Yep, runner beans. Well, that is the strangest thing ever. I don't understand that at all. Yeah, these are runner beans and they're huge. So if someone can explain that to me, I'd be really interested. Let me just pick them all up. I can't get hold of them. Where are they? How funny is that? They are not Gigantes. They're runner beans. Well, that's rather baffling. Danny sent me a handful of Gigantes. They were clearly white beans. I've planted them up. What's happened? So I was just thinking, what am I going to do with these frames over the winter months? And I've just had a brainwave. I think this bed in particular is probably going to be for my onions. So I might actually make a frame for the netting. So instead of them being vertical, they can be horizontal. I've got 2 ends and 2 sides I can use to make a frame around the top of the raised bed, and then I can put the netting over that. Seems like a plan, so I might just try that. But I think this is going to take me a while to get all this down, and I might be able to get that bird's nest down in a bit. We can have a look at it. It's not the most intricate. For those of you that were following me in the summer, I had some collared doves nesting up here. They had 2 chicks which successfully fledged. So, but it's a poor excuse for a nest, that's for sure. But we'll get it down and have a good look at it. So I'll come back to you in a bit. So I've managed to get most of the runner beans down. Well, all the runner beans on this side at least. And the cobra, they're all down now. But I've sorted out the mystery of the Gigantes. I'd forgotten that I'd left the roots of my runner beans from last year in the bed. Now, runner beans, or all beans, are nitrogen fixers, and generally when you cut them down you leave the roots in the ground because they put the nitrogen back in the soil. And I did that last year, and they're actually perennials. And what's happened is one of the set of roots actually rejuvenated and it produced a plant. I've never had that actually happen before, and it's been really successful. Now these are the 4 Gigantes, but next to it, this is the volunteer runner bean, and as you see, it's gone up and up and up, and then it's just got completely entangled with everything else. So I'm going to get what I can down without damaging the Gigantes. But mystery solved. Right, that's it for today. It's just gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's got very, very dull and quite chilly, and we are expecting rain. And to be honest with you, I've had enough for today. So that first trellis has been completely removed. It's over there for now, but I may try and utilise that in some way to make a frame for my onions. I've left the roots in because, as I explained earlier, the beans are nitrogen fixers, so that'll be putting nitrogen back into the soil. I've severed the volunteer runner bean, so the top growth that's entwined with the Gigantes will start to die off. Then it'll be easier for me to remove that. You see it's blowing up now. And there's Mr. Paddy to say hello. You can say hello. He wants his tea, that's what he's after. This is that nest. Look at the state of that. It's full of dung. There's no depth to it at all. Those poor little chicks didn't have much of a home. I mean, if you see like a robin's nest or blackbird's nest, they're absolutely beautiful, really intricate, but that is an abomination. I think even I could make a better nest than that. But they survived and they fledged. And look who's at my feet now. He's definitely after his tea. You want your tea? Do you really? Okay folks, I've got work tomorrow, so I'll do a bit more on Tuesday. See you soon. Good morning. You're going to have to excuse the way I'm dressed. I've got my painting gear on. I discovered a bit of a problem. Now the Summerhouse, I've had this 15 odd years, and I've had a new roof felt on it several times, but the last time it was put in, I think the nails were a bit too long. Yeah, so they've come right through, and when it rains, it doesn't always leak, but if the wind is blowing in a certain direction, it kind of forces the water through. So I have got a couple of wet patches. So I've just been down to Wickes, and no endorsement by the way, and I've just got myself some what's it called, coat and clear sealant. So I'm going to paint it on the roof in felt, and hopefully, because it's a rubberized sealant, hopefully that is going to protect the shed for a few more years. So fingers crossed that's going to work, but we've got rain coming later, so this will soon tell me in the morning if it's leaked. I'm back in the greenhouse. I'm picking some chilies. These are the first of the cayenne. I've got a couple of red ones and some green. I've got more to pick. And then I've got the Scotch bonnet and the Cheyenne, so that's all the chilies that I've got. And then of the sweet peppers, I've got a snack pepper which has got lots of lovely little peppers on, which I shall remove. And then I have two other pepper plants which were given to me. I don't remember the names of those, and they have got some big fruit on, or I say big fruit on, there's one on each plant, but I'm going to pick those. And then I did notice that on the Cheyenne I've got some green fly, so that may be a factor in deciding whether to overwinter the plant or just to get rid of it and start from scratch next year. So I'm going to remove all the fruit first, and then I'll make that decision. So these are the snack pepper. I'm going to remove all of these. They're only small, sort of bite-sized fruit, but they're ideal for my packed lunches for work. So these are the red peppers. They're absolutely stunning. I'm really pleased with those. They're a pair of beauties. I need to find out what the plant was called. So that's all the cayenne. So I'm going to move on to the Cheyenne next. So these are the Cheyenne, and I'm going to pick all of the yellow ones and leave the green. They're beautiful, aren't they? So these are my Scotch bonnet. And I've grown these for years and they've always gone a deep red. I've never had Scotch bonnet that are orange. So I wonder if they really are Scotch bonnet. What do you think? So this is all the Scotch bonnet. Aren't they gorgeous? And then I've got cayenne. The Cheyenne. And then snack peppers and the mystery peppers. That is my chili and pepper harvest 2024. Good morning. Oh, did I say it was chilly? We had our first real hard frost last night. It's nearly 9 o'clock in the morning and it's still only 3 degrees. It is really cold. Now the weather is really changing. If you are feeding the birds and the hedgehogs, you need to be consistent because they come to rely on what you put out for them. So yeah, don't do it just on the odd occasion. Like you might do it for a couple of days and then you'll leave it a week, and then you might have another spurt where you do it every day and then you leave it a month. That's no good. There's no point doing that at all. So be consistent and help our wildlife to survive, because they can have a hard time this time of year and through the winter months. So yeah, I've just fed all the birds. What happens is every morning they sit and line the whole fence waiting for me to give them their breakfast. So I don't like to disappoint them, so they've all just been fed. we had clear skies last night. Oh my goodness, were we given a spectacular display of the Aurora. It's the second time I've ever seen it, certainly in the UK. I've never seen it abroad anywhere, but to see it in the UK and from my own back garden was just magical. I just went trigger happy with the camera last night. I've got loads and loads of photos, so I'll put some at the end for you to see. But Facebook last night, as soon as you got on Facebook, the whole screen was just sort of a pinky purple, because photo after photo after photo, people taking pictures from outside their back doors. It was just amazing. So yeah, very, very memorable evening. Oh, sorry, I'm rambling because I'm really cold and I want to go back indoors. So the garden really does look quite autumnal now. All the summer crops have gone, apart from the Gigantes. The carrots will stay in their pots, they're fine for this time of year. The cauliflowers and broccoli are doing okay. So up and coming will be my onions and garlic, so I should be doing that over the coming week. So the beds are all ready for that. So before I go, I just wanted to say I'm about 20 subscribers from 2.5k. It's just amazing. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. I know that a lot of you that watch my videos don't interact or subscribe, but it really, really does help the channel to grow. So please subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you'll get future notifications. Leave me a comment and I'll come back to you first opportunity I get. Right, I can't feel my feet. My coffee's getting cold. I'm going in. I'm Annie and this is my kitchen garden.